Exefere.
After Chillers with DJ Jawz on the Podcast Network.
Welcome. Gastro Vilakazi, what up? Tiamo Nkaleti, what up? Kazoo 808 Logic Digital, what's happening? Unicorn T, Tebohum, Nkosinati, Nsibande. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Johannes Matolo Masemola, what's happening? Nicole Mzi, Tabang, Libyani, good to have you on. Rias, Takalani, Matsenene, Nicole Mzi, Lucia Komani. Woo! Zimbabwe in the house. Namibia in the house. What up, Jamestown? Cape Town is here. Venda Bakorimini. Ha! Bloemfontein, what's happening? Welcome to After Chillers, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DJ Jawz. I'm your host. We do this every single Tuesday right here on the Podcaster and Chill Network. This is where the vibes are on. Tokozo, I see you in Johannesburg. Khotatso Sekele in Davidton, what up? Johannes in Soshanguve. Tapo Val, what's happening, Mulatelo? Johannesburg, Itumele Mohapi, Gomorra. You know what, you guys always see the Zoom link in the comments, but I don't know why you are a bit scared to join in, but hey, whenever you're ready. Hello, Lesotho. Dikoliza, SKA. Knowledge 16, Memela. Durban, what up? Mangi Mohali. I see you in Rustenburg. So we basically have everyone from every corner of South Africa. Pitori, Josie, Berea, Trebe, Kha, Yol, Palale. Ish. You know what, before we get on with the show, I just want to do a quick gig guide. It's going to be a very hectic weekend for all the chillers. And if you want to meet us, there's a couple of places that you're going to meet us. And on Saturday, it's my birthday on the 25th of September. It's my birthday, and you can catch me rocking it tomorrow night at Orthodox One Collet Drive in Ilovo. And on Friday, the Heritage Party happening at Cosmopolitan out at Mamboning. I'm going to be hanging out with the likes of the Les, Bob Mabena, DJ Cleo is going to be there. Legendary stuff. That's what I'm talking about. And also on Friday, Coffee Centurion. Coffee is celebrating 2 years of its existence. I'm talking about the Coffee in Centurion, not Coffee the brand. Coffee Centurion. Come through, let's have a great time. And MacG is gonna be at the Coffee Centurion on Saturday. Then, on Sunday, Podcast and Chill Network presents Chillers branch out in Polokwane, my hometown. Tickets are going for $250, includes meal and Grandeur and tonic. So if you haven't tasted Grandeur, you're gonna taste it on Sunday. Coffee Polokwane. All you have to do is download the DJ Ticket app, get yourself a ticket, meet up with the chillers, and let's network, you know? Meet up with MacG and Soul, and hopefully Ghost Lady's gonna be there. Then on Saturday, you can catch me at Altitude Beach, the black and white party. That's going to be on my birthday, Metro FM, Altitude Beach in Thorways from 12 o'clock. Lulo Cafe, Naked DJ LKG, DJ Sebi, Musa Keys, Met Al, Blackie, Kings of the Weekend, myself, and Mo Flavor. Whew. That's how it is, man. Welcome to the show. Let's welcome Sam. Sam, what up, man? Your mic is off.
My bad. How you doing, Jawz? How you doing, bro?
I'm chilling like a villain, man. It's been a very chilled week. Not a whole lot of things happening, yeah. Not a lot of hope. You know, I think I was just getting myself ready for this weekend because it's just going to be a blast, you know.
Hey, it's your birthday, bro. Hopefully it's going to be rocking, man. We're looking forward, bro.
No, it has to rock. It has to rock,
Most definitely. Most definitely.
So, tell me, Sam, if ever you get an opportunity to leave South Africa, your hometown, Durban.
Sure, man.
Would you take it?
Oh, definitely, bro. I would. Why wouldn't I?
And then tell me
Depending,
something.
though.
And then tell me something. Tell me something. If you were living in America, the way we know America to be, if you were living in America, do you think you'd leave America for South Africa?
Yo. Looking at the current situation and how South Africa is right now.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I mean, you know what people say. They say the future's in America. So I'll definitely leave, my brother.
No, I'm saying if you were living in America, would you leave America to come and stay in South Africa?
Right.
Would you? Leave America
and come here.
And come here.
Nah.
You know what? They say America is the land of the opportunities, the land of the what, you know what? But here's a guy, he stays in San Francisco, in the States, doing shit there. Then he decides, let me go hustle in South Africa. But now, the thing is, when he came here, he turned the place upside down. He came here and fucking made it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy I'm talking about. I'm talking about the man himself. James Prevost. What up? What up? James Z. How you doing, my brother? How you doing, my brother? Your mic is off. Your mic is off.
Brother Jawz, I'm here.
James.
How you doing, man?
James.
How are you, man?
I mean, you decided to leave San Francisco and come to South Africa. What got into you? Why?
Hey, man, I've told that story a million times. But if you want a brief synopsis of the story,
yeah.
Basically, I just got tired of USA, man. I got tired of it. What you're seeing today all over the news, police brutality, harassment, racism, all that was there 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I was like 7 years old, I got slammed up against a police car and with me and my cousins and brothers, and we got searched after coming from an arcade. A lot of people don't know what an arcade is, but before there was Atari or PlayStations.
Oh, yeah. I know the arcade. Yeah, we used to have them here in South Africa as well.
Right.
We're not that primitive.
Right.
Yeah.
So we come out of this arcade, and it was like 7 or 8 of us, and they slam up us against police cars. So this was a long time ago. You know, we're talking about San Francisco, which is probably one of the most liberal cities in all United States, and it was happening there.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I just got tired of it, and I was like, you know what? I want to go to Africa and roll the dice. And when I got on the plane, I didn't know anybody here.
Fuck.
I actually didn't even know where Johannesburg was.
What?
Because we didn't have Google. There was no Google back then. I just knew I wanted to go to Africa, and the plane was going to Johannesburg, and that's where I went, and that's where I stayed. Basically, but it's a little more than that, but you don't have enough time on the show to go through the whole story. That's basically it.
Shit. So you get to South Africa, and then what was your plan? When you get here, like, what are you going to do for money? What are you going to do to survive?
Man, I was 25, young, dumb, and stupid, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have a plan. I came with 2 suitcases and $800. And I said, I'll make it work. And on the plane, I happened to meet a guy, rest his soul. That was a good friend of mine who's a really top attorney in DC. His name is Donald Temple. His good friend, which was a guy who recently passed away during COVID, which was, his name was Greg Boyd, was a popular American in South Africa at the time. And so I meet this guy on the flight. He says, hey, I got a good friend in Joburg. I said, really? He said, yeah. And he offered me a ride to my hotel. I said, you sure your friend don't mind giving me a ride? That friend was Greg Boyd, which was every American in South Africa knew Greg Boyd at the time. Yeah. So I come off the airplane. He gives me a ride. And you know where I was staying?
Where?
Again, I was staying at the Santon Sun Towers. It was 1 year old back then. So I stayed at the Santon Sun Towers.
With your last $800.
It's a little more to it. I was with the mayor of Atlanta. I was on a official Atlanta delegation. So the mayor and his delegation got here a day before me. Yeah. And I came the day after. So the hotel booking for the whole delegation was at the Santon Sun Towers. And the way things happen, way fate happened, is basically when I go to check out, I ask for my bill, and the city of Atlanta had paid my whole hotel bill the whole time I was there.
Ooh, God was on your side. God was on your side. Yeah. You're just traveling with God. Wow. Talk about taking risks, man. So fast forward, you ended up running a club in Rosebank, Enigma. That's where I met you.
Right. Shoot, right. You were what, 16, 17?
Yo. I was still a baby, bro. Like, yeah. That's where I met Fat Joe for the first time. He was still dating, pushy. And what? So Enigma was like one of the first upmarket clubs in Joburg. And
right.
Because I remember even when Janet Jackson came into the country, there was a Janet Jackson concert, and the after party was at Enigma. Because I remember coming there thinking, damn, tonight I'm going to meet Janet Jackson. That was after Poetic Justice. And I was just so in love with Janet Jackson, but she didn't make it there, man. Yeah. So from running clubs to comedy, I mean, you've just been moving, taking risks, and just studying new things. I mean, comedy wasn't even big when you started. How did you get the idea to get into comedy, and what made you think this is what South Africa needed at the time?
Well, it started, with Enigma, right? The club did very well. Like you say, everybody came through Enigma. Any visiting celebrity that came to South Africa came through Enigma. Yeah. But what happened was, back in those days, Enigma for the new upcoming middle class in 1995, 96, after ANC took over the country. Yeah. Everybody was just having a good time, but sometimes it would get out of control. So with Enigma, I started getting a little conscious, because sometimes, I would hear about cases of rape from people who left the club, and I would feel guilty that it was the alcohol that caused this, right? And I'm the one who served them alcohol. So I decided to get out of nightclub business all in general. I didn't want nothing to do with the nightclub business. So I decided to get into comedy. But the thing is with the comedy is that is what I did in America before I got on a plane. I was a comedy promoter in Atlanta, Georgia, promoting comedy shows, D.L. Hughley, Bernie Mac, who else? Who is these? Faison Love. Who's these other guys? See, I can't remember all these guys.
Because I remember
you big names back then.
Yeah, because I remember you brought what's his name, Mr. Cooper.
Mark Curry, that's my man.
Yes,
that's my man.
That was the first big comedy show to ever happen, like in my knowledge, to ever happen in South Africa. I remember even bumping into him from seeing him on TV, and I'm like, all right, so you book comedians now. Now we're not booking rappers now. Now we take it up a notch. Right. How much did you pay for that? How much did you pay for him to come here?
That's a whole. I mean, I got a million stories. That's a whole nother story. You know what he got paid? Well, first, let me backtrack just a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's how I started comedy in South Africa, because I did it in the U.S. I was like, damn, I can just do that here instead of doing nightclubs. So I started doing the comedy shows, but I had a little resistance. So Mark Curry, Mr. Cooper, AKA Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
I called his talent agent and I want to book him because I needed somebody big that can make this industry grow. Yeah. Right. And everybody in Africa knew Mr. Cooper because the syndication of the TV show played for so many years. So I call his agent, I book him, I send a deposit for him. And then about 3 weeks before the show starts, his agent calls me and tells me Mr. Cooper doesn't want to do the show anymore.
Shit.
I'm like, what? My name is on the line. Sponsorship is on the line. So you know what I did? I said, no, he's not doing this to me. I get on a plane. I immediately get on a plane. I fly to LA to go meet with the agent. I go to the agent's office. I'm going in there like super like Nino Brown style, right? So I go to the office. The agent is not there. So I asked his assistant. I'm there on Sunset Boulevard. I said, well, where is he? He said, well, he's at the Universal City for a comedy show. I said, okay, great. You know what I mean? So I go to Universal City for this comedy show that the agent is at. I don't have a pass. I don't even have a ticket. But I go through that door all the way backstage with no credentials. And I asked someone, where is this agent? I can't remember his name. It fails me. The Jewish name. Let's call it Weinberg, whatever it is, right? So they said, he's over there. And I said, yeah. I said, I go up to him. I said, hey, I'm James Prevost from Sprite Soul Comedy Tour from South Africa. He said, oh, yeah. Hey, James, how you doing, man? I said, I'm doing great, man, but not so well. I said, what about Mark, man? What about him? I got him booked for the show. He said, yeah, James, sorry, man. Mark don't want to do it, man. He doesn't want to do it. He changed his mind. He's scared of Africa. He don't want to go. I said, look, it don't work that way. And you know what I did? I flew over there. I swear to you, no lie. I had a pocket full of Cougar Rands, right?
Yeah.
A pocket full. I'm talking about a pocket full. Like I had like 20 ounces of gold in my pocket. So what I did when he said, no, he don't want to do it, I took the 20 ounces of gold out of my pocket and I put it in his hand. I said, see this right here? This is gold. When Mark gets to South Africa, this is what he gonna get. And then I took it out of his hand and put it back in my pocket, right?
Yeah.
And so that word spread through Hollywood, okay? It's like, this dude came over here and put gold in my hand for you to do this trip.
All the way from South Africa.
From South Africa. And then Mark ended up doing the show. And at the end of the show, I gave Mark an ounce of gold. Shit. And to this day, he still has that ounce of gold.
Where do you get the ounce of gold, James? I mean,
buy it, man. You can buy an ounce of gold at any jewelry coin dealer in South Africa.
And
that's what I did with the money from Enigma. Every month from Enigma, I would buy an ounce of gold. Every month.
And
Back
what?
then, gold was $272 an ounce.
Yeah. And then what was the plan? What was the plan with the gold? Like, you're gonna collect this gold and do what with it?
Well, my thing was gold has always been the best investment, right? It outstrips everything. So I was just stacking gold. I was stacking it every month, having gold, and that is how I created my real estate. I took my gold and I flipped it into real estate, which we'll get to that story a little bit later. But so that's what it is, buying gold. I bought a coin, 1 ounce of gold every month for about 2.5 years.
Shit. And the Sprite Comedy Jam, like when you started it, who were who was on your team? I mean, I know you wanted to elevate our comedy. You wanted to introduce us to comedy, and like at the end, when you finally leave comedy, did you achieve what you wanted to achieve? What was the main objective?
Oh, man, you got good questions, bro. Good questions. Well, the objective for the Sprite Soul Comedy Jam, and if I show you I still have the proposal, the original proposal, I still have it in my archives. The thing was to identify a South African comedian that could compete on an international stage. That was my mission statement in the proposal, which I wrote to Sprite in order to get the sponsorship to do the comedy show.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing was I wanted to create an industry. I didn't want to just do a show. Yeah. I wanted to create an industry that would grow and that would build, and also an industry that didn't need me, which is why I'm not in the industry anymore, because it's on its own now. The South African comedy industry has its own legs. It doesn't need a James no more. Yeah. James sat back, wrote the plan, create the industry, handed it over to the young bloods to take control. And now you probably got several thousand people in South Africa who are making an income from comedy. And to this day, they don't even know my name.
I mean, Trevor Noah should be an example of what you actually wanted to achieve from, if I hear you correctly, someone who's going to compete on an international level. I mean, that's your guy. Actually,
he was, when Trevor got the Daily Show, I was like, mission accomplished. That was my goal. I didn't say get 100 people. I said to identify a South African comedian that can compete on an international stage. When he received the Daily Show, I was like, that is the reason why I started comedy. And lo and behold, I meet Trevor for the first time after he got the Daily Show.
Yeah.
Because I'm in entertainment, I know how to get backstage at any show without any credentials, right?
You're a hustler.
You gotta walk a certain way, look a certain way, and you get backstage. So he's backstage of a show, and I said, I gotta go meet Trevor, because I heard about Trevor. He and I had never, ever met before, because by the time he started doing comedy, I had stopped doing the Sprite Soul comedy. So I get backstage, I go straight to his dressing room, I say, hey, Trevor, how you doing? He said, I'm good, how are you? And I had my great friend in South Africa. You may know my friend in South Africa, which is Lee Hoffmeyer, Gray Hoffmeyer's daughter. So she was with me backstage, so she knows the story. So I said to her, Sam, hey, how you doing, Trevor? It's James. He says, great to meet you. He said, what's your name again? I said, James Prevost. He says, James Prevost. He says, man, how do I know that name? I said, Sprite Soul Comedy. He says, man, Sprite Soul Comedy. Yeah, that's right. He said, man, you one of the reasons I got into comedy. Sprite Soul Comedy. So his thing was, it was 2 reasons why he got into comedy. He used to watch Def Jam DVDs, right? And then the Sprite Soul Comedy. So the Def Jam DVDs, I brought all those DVDs into South Africa. Oh, yeah? I was the distributor. I would buy them from LA, sell them to distributors, put them into Look and Listen and all this stuff. So the DVD he got was a product of my distribution.
Yeah.
And then the Sprite Store Comedy. So the two things that influenced to get into comedy, I was a hand in both of them. And he was, it was the greatest, accolade for him to give the props and say that you're the reason why I got into comedy. So after that, why do I need to go back to that industry? Because the mission was accomplished. Accomplished,
man. I mean, even David Kau and Kagiso Ledira, I mean, those are the guys that you started with. They're doing so well for themselves as well, you know?
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
They are doing very well. So
I'm proud of them.
So, James, now you stay in South Africa. You are in South Africa, and you decide to stop doing comedy. You get into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Is it easy for one to get into real estate and without the knowledge that you need to acquire from? I mean, a lot of people will tell you that, you know, getting into real estate is the best thing. Invest in property, but how do you make money in property? Like, I've got money and I go buy property. What do I do with the property?
Well, there's several ways to do that. You know, one person would say that use what they say other people's money, right? Other people's money don't mean go to your grandmother and ask her for some money. Other people's money means using the bank.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you being South African or any South African, you can get what they call anywhere from a 90 to 100% finance on a property, which means you have to put no money down or 10% down. So what you do is you find your property. If you want to say you want to buy a nice property, let's take Sandton. Yeah. You're going to spend about $3.5-4 million by these days, or maybe these days prices come down a bit because of COVID.
Yeah.
So let's just use $3 million as an example. So the bank is going to say, we need you to put in you need some skin in the game in this. That's what we call it. Basically what they mean is they want you to put some equity or some collateral to the value of 10%. So you're going to drop them 300,000 Rand, but you're going to get a place for 3 million Rand. So what you do, that place for 3 million Rand in today's market, well, let's say before COVID, it was probably worth 5 million, right?
Yeah.
Today you can get it for 3 million. So you're going to buy that place with your 300,000 down. You're going to put $5,000 a month. You're going to sit on it for 6 months, a year, 2 years until the market improves, and then you're going to flip it. And when you flip it for the 500,000, you're going to give the bank back their 2.7 million because you put down 300. You're going to put the equity in your pocket. That's one way to do it. So what I did after Sprite Soul Comedy is I told you I was sitting on gold, right?
Yeah.
I had bullion, right? So
how much gold were you sitting on?
Hey man, I'm not going to tell you that. You know, next thing you know, you have somebody.
But you used it. You don't have it anymore, Mos. You used it.
Yeah, I put it in property.
Yeah, but how much was it? How much was it?
Okay, I give you an example. I was able to put down a 10% deposit on about 8 properties in less than 6 months. Okay. So what I would do is the bank would, because I was holding the gold to buy a property, right? Because I was a foreigner in South Africa, I didn't know I can get a loan. Back then, as a foreigner, you had to put down at least 50%. So I had this gold stacked up with the anticipation that I got to put down 50%. But then when I go to get the property, they approved me for 90% finance. So then I had all this money left over. So what I did is took more mortgages or bonds on properties, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, Next thing you know, in the space of about 8-9 months, I was sitting on 12 properties with just 10% thing, right? I rented those properties, I flipped them, I moved, and then I moved into Yeovil and started buying from the auction. And with the auction, it got even more beautiful. I never even took a mortgage, never took a bond. I would put a bid down. You bid for the property. Back these days, now it's changed a little bit. So you go to an auction, a sheriff auction. Yeah. You bid for the property, right?
Yeah.
Most auctions require you to put down 10%. You put down your 10%, but then while they're doing the paperwork and it's going through lawyers and it's going to the bank and they're trying to give you all clear title with no encumbrances. Back then, it would take them 3 months to move the paperwork. In those 3 months, I would have renovated the place because I got the keys. I gave you the deposit. They give you the keys. I renovated in those 3 months. I would have people sleep in that place and renovate it day and night. I would bring them food. They would work on it 24 hours a day. And I would find me a buyer to take my position in that property. You follow me? Shit. So let's take another number, 100,000 Rand, right? I gave you 10,000 Rand as a deposit, but I put in 10,000 Rand to my renovations as example. I would then sell that house for 250,000 Rand to somebody else. They would take my position, and then what I would do is then pay the sheriff that balance of 90,000 Rand I owe him, and the upside I put in my pocket. So the property never would get registered in my name because they never finished the paperwork. I would find someone to take my position. That's how it started.
Wow.
Then it goes on and on and on and on.
Wow. So you need to be clever with these things, you know? Shit, Sam, did you even think this is how?
I want to know something, bro.
Yeah.
I'm quite interested with all this knowledge. Is this knowledge with all this business acumen? Did you get it from your family? Is it bloodline, or you went to school? Or was it self-taught? And at some point in time, were there any bad calls that you made at somehow, some way?
I'll tell you something. Real estate, never made a bad call, except once, and we'll get to that part in a minute. But real estate is pretty much it's a no-brainer as long as you get in right. Everything is based on price and location. Right? If you get price right, location right, you'll do well. But to answer your question, no, it wasn't in the bloodline. You know what I mean? All my stuff is self-taught. I got into real estate when I bought my first property when I was 19 years old in Nashville, Tennessee. So once I bought my first property and I tasted, I was like, it was that easy to buy. It's easier to buy a house than it is to buy a car. Believe that. It's much easier, okay? So when I bought my first property, I was like, wow, that was so easy. And when I bought a property at 19 years old with zero money down, no money out of my pocket, all I had to do is sign the paperwork and take over the mortgage. No credit check. All I had to do is have a driver's license back then and sign the paperwork. So when I got that, I was like, I like this. And then I was going to be a stockbroker. And then my stockbroker school, a real estate firm came into the school trying to recruit people for commercial real estate. And the instructor in the school said, look, best man in here that you want for real estate would be James. I didn't know the business. You know, this company recruits me. My office, you guys may not remember LaFace Records, Babyface Edmonds, and L.A. Reid. My office was 3 floors below their office. So I'm cold calling. I don't know this business. So I'm literally in the yellow pages, flipping pages, calling people. Hey, are you looking for office space? Are you looking for office space? Looking for office space? I did this for about 3 months. And then one day I said, I'm going up and down this elevator with Tony Braxton, TLC, Bobby Brown. Everybody's in the elevator with me every single day, but I'm not talking to them because I've never been one to like jock nobody. I don't kiss nobody's ass. I don't do that. I'm like, you know, if I have something to talk to you about, I'll talk, but I'm not going to be running up you trying to sell you my business. So I never would speak to them. But then one day, I was thinking, I was like, how can I meet these people? How can I go about it? And then I woke up one day and said, you know what? I don't need to find out how to meet them. I need to make them want to meet me, right? So that is when everything changed. I was working with, Teddy Riley.
Shoo.
At the time. My first little deal. Teddy Riley's looking for a chicken and waffle spot. So we're looking for waffles, chicken and waffles in Atlanta for Teddy Riley. So I didn't know how to find a chicken and waffle spot. So I had a girl that was a journalist. So I had her write a story that said, Teddy Riley looking for a chicken and waffles location with the broker to the stars, James Prevost. Yeah, I'm not the broker to the stars. She wrote broker to the stars. Right? So I had that little, 5 minutes of fame, Teddy Riley. So because I was in LaFace building, I find out who's their lawyer. I go to their lawyer, which is, if you guys can Google him right now to this day, his name is Joe Katz. He's the #1 entertainment lawyer in the United States.
Joe who?
He's Joe Katz.
Joe Katz.
K-A-T-Z.
Joe Katz.
So I get a meeting with Joe Katz. I call up Joe Katz and say, can I meet with you? He represented every celebrity in Black music or country music. And his office was literally right on the corner from my office. So I call him up. He gives me an appointment. Little old James gives me an appointment. I go to his office. I tell him what I want to do. And because he liked me, he said, from now on, everybody will do business with you. And that was my real estate career. So from that day forward, I represented all the A celebrities in Atlanta. You name them back then. Bobby Brown, Dallas Austin, TLC, I can't remember all these celebrities back then. Oh, Organized Noise. All these guys were the clients. And that's how I started my real estate career. So by being an agent, that's the best thing about being a real estate agent. If you're a real estate agent, and a lot of people have time to do it, is it teaches you how the money moves, how the transactions happen. So me being an agent with these clients, I was privy to the information and the inter parts of real estate, how it really works through the finance and the money. Yeah. So I started then understanding it. So I started getting more deep into it. So I started buying my own properties, renting my own properties out. Didn't do anything major. Only when I went to South Africa, after I decided I was done with the entertainment industry, when I took my pocket full of Kula Rands, and I said, you know what? I know this real estate game. I'm taking this money, putting it in real estate. And that's how it is. And I'm not sure, that was a long way to an answer, but I'm not sure, Mr. Sam, did I answer the question? I'm not sure if I did or not.
No, you did, man. You
All
did.
right. As you always do, James, I mean, you left America, you came to South Africa, you leave South Africa, you moved to Zanzibar. Why did you leave us?
Man, somebody's okay. Let me tell you the reason why I left. Literally, one of the main reasons why I left the United States was, of course, the chances for a Black man to make it there. They kept raising the bar. First, you had to be a high school graduate. Then you had to be a college graduate. Then you had to have a master's degree. Then you have a PhD. By the time you get a PhD, then you're overqualified, right? So the system was designed against you, right? So I got tired of that. And also, as I told you, I was inside the inner workings of the Black entertainment industry by representing all the celebrities in Atlanta. Yeah. And I decided this shit was not what I wanted. It was, I was getting home late. My marriage failed because of, I'm always with celebrities out late at night. And I just thought it was plastic. So I said, I want to go somewhere where nobody knows me and do this thing all over again. So I was going to Africa, expecting to South Africa, expecting to have no electricity, no running water, giraffes running around the corner. I wasn't expecting to see marble bathrooms at the Stanton Sun Towers. I was expecting to go into Africa. So because I wanted to slow it down.
But
so
why would you go to a place like that? Like, if I know I'm going to a place where there's no electricity, like I'm leaving electricity to go to a place where there is no electricity, why are you doing that?
I was just tired, man. I when I left the United States, I gave away my car, I gave away my house, I gave away all my furniture. I only took 2 suitcases. I was done. I was done with the, what do you call it? The keeping up with the Joneses type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I get to South Africa. South Africa was super cool in '95. Nobody had money. Everybody was friends. Kumbaya. We were like, when we had Enigma, people would pile up in the back of a combi, or they would be in the back of a last number. Yeah. 7 people. Yeah. And however you got there, everybody shared.
Yeah. Then
I saw South Africa slowly progress into the people only spoke to you if they can get something from you. It wasn't like Ubuntu in '95 and stuff. Yeah. So people started watching music videos, wanting to drive the Bentleys. Everybody wanted to do high posts. So I saw that and I said, you know what? I got to get out of here too, because it's becoming just like the United States. And that's when I bounced to Zanzibar. I said, okay, Zanzibar, surely they can't do the same thing. And as it is to this day, you know, we have electricity off for 6 hours. You know, we don't have some water sometimes. This is what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted.
And then you back at selling,
and it's a quality of life.
And you're back at selling houses there. And like, who did you know when you left for Zanzibar? You also didn't know anybody.
Man, you don't have enough time for all these stories, man.
And we're running out of time.
Well, you're pretty good on the interview with your research and your question. I gotta tell you that. Oh, and people gotta tell you, before I continue with this story, and remind me to come back to the story, DJ Jawz, y'all, he left out a part. We go way back. I used to come to DJ Jawz college dorm, and he would make adverts for me. He would make radio adverts out of his dorm room with his 2 boys back at Vince.
And I was using James's voice. Everyone was like, yeah, where you getting this voiceover artist from? I'm like, yo, man, I got some people in the States, my brother.
It's true. We rocked it. Yeah, and I refuse to tell people who did. I wouldn't tell people who did my work because I didn't want them to steal you. Then you wouldn't have time to do my work.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. So what was I? Now you gotta remind me where I left off now.
Yeah.
Where was I?
So okay. Let's quickly talk about
so Zanzibar.
Yeah, what you're doing right now in Zanzibar.
Okay, so quickly, how I got to Zanzibar is, you know, I sold soul comedy. I followed the Def Jam model. I did shows, recorded programs, sold the programs, content to broadcasters, right?
Yeah.
So I sold Sprite Soul Comedy to SABC, DSTV, and all of these.
Yeah. So
a good friend of mine, which is Abby. Remember the first Big Brother, Abby and Gaetano? Remember that?
Yeah. I remember them.
Yeah.
Gaetano.
So Abby moved to Tanzania, and Abby saw me on TV, and she had got married, and she sees me pop on TV. She didn't know I was doing the comedy, and she said, "Oh, that's James." And her husband says, "You know that guy?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "We gotta get him here." There's a brother here named Samantha Abnanur Yusuf.
Yeah.
So they reach out to me. They fly me up to do comedy in Tanzania. So I end up bringing Mark Curry to Tanzania. And Samantha introduced me to a few people and to Zanzibar, ended up meeting a friend in Zanzibar who have a popular hotel a lot of people know called Kendall Rocks. So through those two, then I started knowing the island. And that's how I got to Zanzibar, pretty much, man. Two people.
It was basically the same thing that happened. Like it was you were there for comedy. They wanted you for comedy, and you ended up overstaying your welcome.
Yeah, right. It was no reason to leave. No reason to leave whatsoever.
Wow.
No reason.
James, man, yo, we could talk the whole night. I mean, I know you're running Remax.
Oh yeah. You mind if I have a cigarette on air? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. No, kids are sleeping.
Kids watching. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's a couple of people who are watching right now, and they wanna get their money's worth in investments, and especially outside of the country. And you were telling me that people in South Africa need to look into buying some property in Tanzania, for instance. I mean, I've got your details. Like, if anyone wants to purchase some property in Tanzania, I mean, we can talk, and then I'll link you up with James.
Yes, I can tell you about that.
Black people need to make money right now, man.
Right.
Like, yeah, we tired of leaving our kids with nothing. How easy is it to buy property in Tanzania, for instance? I mean, you've been buying property in South Africa, and you are now selling property in Tanzania. How easy is it?
Well, what it is now, what we have here now is you have Remax South Africa, right?
Yeah.
So what we have here, we own Remax Tanzania, right? So Remax, everybody knows, international franchise like McDonald's.
Yeah.
So we brought the Remax brand to Tanzania, which there's only 2 international brands in Tanzania, and we're one of the 2. So what we do is we sell franchises, and then we sell real estate. So the hat that I actually wear, I'm part of the master franchise. I sell franchises to people. Then we have offices that sell real estate. So in the game of the real estate, which is, we have one in Dar, which is Remax Coastal. In Zanzibar, we have one called Remax Omela. So what we do is we package products for foreign investors, okay? Zanzibar has always been attractive to foreign investors. Now, the government just released a recent law that they passed that allow foreigners to buy real estate and receive a residency permit. Not only you get residency permit, you get tax benefits, you get to have your money parked in Zanzibar, you get taxed 15% in Zanzibar, and also you can actually have Zanzibar as your, what they call your tax country. I know a lot of people may not understand what I'm talking about when I talk about a tax country, but you can declare through your residency that this is where your tax residency is, so your tax in here. So that's one thing for investment. Then you have a lot of new, what we call developments coming up, where you can literally buy a place in Zanzibar. I'm gonna speak in dollar terms versus rand terms, but you can buy a place in Zanzibar from as low as $25,000 up to $400,000 or $500,000, and you receive a residency permit with that. That's first. Second is that you have Dar es Salaam, which is mainland, right?
Yeah.
So that's Zanzibar. Dar es Salaam has just opened up for the first time. Foreigners can buy properties in Dar es Salaam or mainland. Yeah. Before, you had to be a Tanzania to own a property. So now you can come as a foreigner and take advantage of the property market in Dar es Salaam or Arusha, Serengeti, any of those areas, because what happened during COVID is the market got slightly suppressed. So now you get big deals where half of the price that it will cost you to buy an apartment in Santon, you can buy an apartment in one of the upscale areas. Like where I'm sitting now is a place called Masaki. Yeah. Masaki is some of the most expensive real estate. You can buy an apartment, brand new apartment in Masaki for half the price of an apartment in Santon City, for example. So in land, you can buy like an acre of land, 4,000 square meters. In Zanzibar, you can buy an acre, not on the beach, but you can get an acre for like $20,000. Or if you want to be on the beach, an acre will cost you probably around $350,000 for an acre on the beach. But these prices ain't gonna last forever. You know what I mean? They won't last forever.
So this is the right time. This is the right time to invest in Zanzibar and Tanzania.
Absolutely. No. Not only. Let me not say not only Zanzibar, Tanzania.
Yeah.
I tell people that this is the time to invest anywhere. If you got any spare coins around there, you drop it in property now because this is not going to last forever. We're in a bubble. And when you're in a bubble, it never lasts forever. So in the real estate industry globally, it's the first time in our lifetime that the real estate market has been what we consider so equal, meaning it's the perfect time to buy and the perfect time to sell. It's never, ever been like this. And this is a result of the pandemic. Right? So if you want to sell something, now. You want to buy it, now. Don't waste time. Forget those cars. Forget those Louis bags. Forget all that designer stuff. Forget even going out to the clubs. Well, I'm sorry, you're a DJ. They need to go.
He needs that money, man.
Why you gonna take bread out of my mouth?
Taking your bag away.
Oh, shit, man.
But the moral of the story is, guys, really, if you got nothing else from this wonderful podcast, is think about nothing else but property. No matter what it is, if it's ugly, whatever crap, go to some of these auctions, buy anything. And once you taste a little bit of this real estate industry, I promise you'll never go back.
Shut.
Back to you in the studio, Jawz.
James, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all that wisdom. Yeah, we're going to take chances. Tomorrow I'm packing my bags. I'm leaving this country. I'm going to Japan. I'm going to buy myself property in Japan and run some clubs. I don't know anybody there. I'm just going to take a risk.
That's expensive.
I know
Japan is very expensive, brother. Very expensive.
All right, man. James, thanks for chatting to us, and I hope to see you soon. I'll come visit.
Hey.
You know, I always come to Tanzania.
What you mean? You were here for the Enigma party 2 years ago. What you talking about, man?
I need to come back.
We're doing one. You want to come back? We're doing another one 30th of December again.
All right, Shop.
Let's plan it.
I'll hit you on the text. I'll hit you on the text.
All right, bro.
All right, cheers,
All
James.
right, hit me up.
All right, cool stuff.
All right, good to see you. Thanks you for having me on the show.
Ciao, James. All right, guys. Now, Tabang ER. What up, my brother? How you doing? Tabang, we need... What's up, Tabang?
Hey, Shop, how's it, man?
Yeah, man. I know you've got some big things coming up. Mr. Comedy Guy.
Yeah, I know you must hook me up with James.
But the comedian Lichuna Zag.
It's not bad, but it was worse, especially during last year, during that.
Oh, and then when a comedy, how King Venek, ne? Are you doing Venek?
I'm more into vernacular comedy.
Oh, vernacular comedy, King. You don't have dreams to become a Trevor, no. I'm only Venek Ufella mo. Ufella Puluguan. Overseas overseas. You can't go perform for people about overseas.
You never know, Jawz. He might just pick up his bags and go overseas. Like James and take his chances. Who knows?
Kasperi.
Just because I perform in Sepedi does not mean I don't have English gags.
Oh.
Just because there is a big market in South Africa for Venek.
Yeah, but Venek, I can't lie. Yeah. And the jokes land nicely, Kaspedi, in your home language, like they always land nice.
You think in your mother tongue, and now you have to translate to English. So it gets, hey, you miss the punchlines in the process.
I sababsana ka skgo. O sa mo tsa joke ya spedi o dira ka skgo a ebe busana. All right, quickly, man, before we close, please tell me about the comedy show that you are hosting.
Oh yeah, I'm hosting the ER comedy What on the 16th of October. It's actually next month.
Yeah.
I'll be hosting Mashabela Galani, Celestine Dooley, Ronnie Modimola Side Pocket. We're doing it in Pretoria this time around. At Zanzibar Hall. It's in Pretoria Central, corner Bosman and Vermeulen Street. So that's where I'll be hosting. That's 6 p.m.
All right. I gave you like some free advertising. So what is it in for the chillers? Pella, we need to give our chillers a few tickets, some free tickets. How many are we giving away?
For sure. You can suggest, but I'm willing to give at least 3 couples.
3 couples. So leave your name in the comment if you're from Pretoria. So what we're going to do, we're just going to randomly choose somebody to give the tickets to. So hit us up right now in the comments. You can be joining Mashabela, Roni, Oscar Letabang on the 16th of October, Kosidiba Hall in Pretoria. All right, man. Hope to catch you there, my brother. And I hope I'm free on that day so we can do this thing.
Come through.
All right, man.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do just that. And remember, this weekend, let's go through the gigs again. On Saturday, the 35th Metro FM birthday party at Altitude Beach in 4 Ways. That's where I'm going to be. And then a big party happening in Polokwane Coffee Polokwane. Podcast and Chill Network presents the Chillers Brunch. Yes, you pay only $250 and you get yourself a meal and some grandionia and a tonic. If you want to get your tickets now, all you have to do, download the DJ Ticket app and get your ticket. And for table bookings, here are the details. You can catch them on the screen there. And also, I'm going to be at Coffee Centurion on Friday. They're celebrating 2 years of their existence. MacG is going to be there on Saturday, and I know More Flavor is going to be there on Sunday, so it's going to be a big one. And from Coffee, I'm going to head out to Cosmopolitan in town, Maboneng. I'm going to be hanging out with Dallas Bob Mabana. Yes, this is the new age Bob Mabana, because people were asking, hey, who's this Bob Mabana? No, he didn't steal the name. And Bob Mabana approved, by the way. Bob Mabana approved, and the legendary DJ Cleo. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, Thursday, I'm going to be at Orthodox. Don't forget to check out Podcast and Chill on Channel O tomorrow. Cooley Roberts is going to be in the building. And remember to subscribe to my channel. It's DJ Jawz TV. DJ Jawz TV. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And Regal fail. Guys, it's been real. Ciao, ciao.